Hello, Rebecca. It's so good to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us for National Careers Week. Do you want to start by just introducing yourself, who you are, what you do, who do you work for?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. So I'm Becky, and I work for Dentsu, and I am the early careers lead here. Yeah, so I've been here about 10 years now, and it's my job to hire entry level talent into the business, but think about how we do that as well. So think about policies, procedures, um, working with our diversity partners as well. So attracting diverse talent is really important to us as well.
Amazing. And whereabouts are you based?
So I'm actually based in Liverpool.
Nice.
Manchester is my office. Um, I'm pretty much home based. I kind of go in the office as and when, but we're a global business, and in the UK we've actually got 9 locations. So we've got London, Stafford, Manchester, Edinburgh, Newcastle, um, and then I think we've got a couple in Ireland as well, but I don't kind of look after those as well. So yeah, Manchester's my base, but we are a UK wide organisation.
Amazing. That will be music to a lot of people's ears because the big things with the creative industries is we want to tell people it's not London centric. There is stuff all over
Yes,
the UK for people. Um,
yeah.
so tell us a bit more about Dentsu because it's obviously huge.
hmm
You have lots of different types of people working there. Tell us more about what the company does and I guess the different people in the business.
Yeah. So, as I said, we are a global organisation. We've got around 66,000 employees worldwide in
Loads.
145 countries. So we're big.
Mhm.
Um, so in the UK, I think we've got about 4,000 employees. Now, Dentsu in the UK is broken down into 3 service lines. So you've got Merkle, CXM, which is all data, analytics, Salesforce, everything that kind of comes in that world goes into that service line. You've also then got media. So media within that service line, you've got a few different brand names that you may have heard of, like iProspect or Cara or Dentsu So they sit within media. Um, Essentially, what media does is it's things like digital marketing. So everything like PPC, SEO, paid social, which I'm sure some of you guys on the call today will be very familiar with those things. We also do outdoor advertising, TV in the sense of we're not making the adverts in media, but we are making sure that the right target market are seeing those adverts at the right time and negotiating with the media owners. Radio, publishing, display. We do lots within media, and then also client management as well. So working with our clients and managing those relationships. And then lastly, you've got DC, which is Dentsu Creative. Um, Within that service line, you've got editorial, you've got influencer, you've got content, and you've got some of the website design stuff in there as well. So that's huge in its own right. So we do lots, and then kind of underpinning the 3 service lines, you've then got central functions, and there's lots of roles within that. HR sits within central functions, finance, and then you've also got our internal comms team, our internal marketing team. So there are creative roles within that. You've got the internal design team as well that put together all the decks or pitches, any kind of HR documentation that we need. So again, there is this creative within functions.
Layers upon layers upon layers
There
of
are lots,
people
yeah, yeah.
doing lots of different things. Um, so when you first started working at Dentsu, was there a department that really surprised you when you were like, I would never have guessed that this was here, and this is fascinating because it's completely different to what I thought they did?
I think just I think it all surprised me. Um, because when I kind of came in, I focused on recruitment in my areas. And then as you get to know the business more, it's like, oh gosh, I didn't know we did that, or I didn't know we did that. And there's just so much marketing and media, and there's so many different channels and methods. And data is really interesting. Data is key. We need to be able to look at data to, you know, for our clients so they can sell more essentially. And when I went for my interview with Dentsu, I was like, oh, this is a creative agency. No, it's not. There's just, that's a small part. There's lots of other parts as well. It's not a small part, but it is part. So yeah, there's just so much.
And what did you want to do when you were at school? What were like, how did you find your kind of foot in the door of this industry?
Yeah, so gosh, when I was at school, I think I probably wanted to work in like childcare or something like that, because you don't really, well, you don't at all, especially when I went to school, which was quite a while ago. This wasn't a thing. Well, I'm sure it was a thing, but I just didn't have exposure to it. No one in my family did anything like this. My parents didn't go to university. I'm from Stoke-on-Trent. There's no big organisations. Manchester's the nearest city, and I think when you don't tend to go there that often. You just eyes, you're not open to these things because you're not exposed to them. So yeah, I think I wanted to do something that I knew was available. Like you see people in care professions, you see teachers, and yeah, you're just not exposed to it. I went to university. I did a degree in hospitality, and then that's kind of what I decided I wanted to do. Well, I wasn't really sure, to be honest. My sister worked in recruitment, so that was kind of a bit of a foot into the door. So I kind of got an external recruitment role, which I did for a few years, and I actually moved to London. So I was exposed to big organisations. It was like a different world compared to Stoke-on-Trent. And then I got this external, and yeah.
And then the rest is history. And here you are.
Yeah.
Lots of the young people watching will be listening to this being like, that sounds like a really cool company. Lots of different people involved. I'm someone that never thought maybe I could get into the creative industries, but this sounds like a creative company that I could be working for. You are obviously on the HR team, so you have a good ear to the ground for what kind of entry level kind of positions there are, or how would a young person get in? Do you have, junior roles available year round? Do you do internships? Do you do apprenticeships? Like, tell us a bit more about what you have for young people.
Yeah, so we tend to do most of our bulk recruitment in cohorts. And they sit within Dentsu Digital, which is like PPC, paid social, programmatic, so everything online. So those guys recruit loads. So last year we did 3 intakes with those guys. This year we're just about to get our second intake signed off. So that'll be any day now. So that'll be 17 roles across Manchester, London, Leeds, Edinburgh and Stafford. So of course anyone is welcome to apply for those. And then Amplify also recruit in cohorts. So I think we'll have a cohort in August for those guys as well. And that is out of home, radio, outdoor, digital. Everything else is kind of very, I call it BAU. So if someone leaves, if there's churn, if someone gets promoted, if we win a client, all of the other roles, there's no kind of, I don't necessarily have a view of when they come in, but they do come in quite often, all the time, basically. There's quite often roles that we need to recruit, but I can't say, yeah, it's every May or it's whatever. There's obviously a few factors there, but the cohorts, which I've mentioned, we should have one about to land now, which will be a May start date. But when the roles are advertised, they don't tend to be up long because we have quite a quick turnaround time. So they're up for a week or 2 weeks. And then we recruit those. We do assessment centres, and then so a May start date, and then the others will be in August.
Ah, okay, useful to know. Okay, so some regularity to some of the stuff, but then everything
Yeah,
else a bit ad hoc as and when.
yes, exactly.
Good to know. And I assume they'll be on the Eric app as well. So if young people want to apply.
Yes, of course. Yeah, we definitely, please do apply.
Um, do you have any bits of advice in the last couple of minutes that we have? Any bits of advice that you might want to give to the young people watching if they did want to not even necessarily apply to Dentsu, but just get into the industry?
Yeah. I think there is so much online resources available. There are so many free courses that you can do. For example, digital marketing, there's loads of Google courses available, analytics. Definitely recommend doing those. And then that can kind of make you go, I like this or I don't like this. And it's just another thing to add on your CV. And employers can see, right, okay, there is a motivation here because this person has actively gone and done this. There will be loads of the same for creative courses online. Excel is big, regardless whether it's in our creative, whether it's in media or CXM. Most of those roles, most of those entry level roles, you're going to be on Excel, you're going to be keeping data. So it's all free online. Definitely do some Excel courses because, again, that will just give you the advantage. I recognise it can be quite hard for young people out there at the moment. I think there's a lot of people looking, and I think to kind of stand out, you can, don't be afraid to email people directly and just say, hey, I've applied for this role, or reach out to them on LinkedIn. Um, you know, Myself and other talent acquisition specialists are busy, but I'm sure they will get back to you and just give you an update. But that is kind of a way to stand out. If you can get some work experience again, that is beneficial. I think from our perspective as well, you don't necessarily need to have a degree. We just kind of want people that are motivated and passionate. And if you have got a degree, it doesn't need to be a degree within our area. Everything's transferable. Any work as well that you've done, whether that's working in Tesco's or whether that's, any caring or anything like that is good because it is transferable skills. It's building up your skill set that you can apply at Dentsu or any other organisation. For example, if you were working at Tesco's, that's customer service, dealing with customers. In our roles, you'll be dealing with clients. So it is definitely relatable.
That is some fantastic advice. That was like packed full of like, but there's a lot of advice. Great. I actually particularly like the Excel one.
It is so good, and people are whizzes with it. And I'm like, I need to be good at Excel. It's invaluable.
Yeah, it will set you up, won't it? There's actually a
Yeah,
good subgenre of TikTok, Excel TikTok. Highly recommend that you learn so
there
much.
you go. Yeah.
Well, Bex, thank you. Oh, Becky, sorry. Becky, thank you so much for joining us. That was absolutely amazing. So much to take away there, and I'm sure everyone watching is going to be applied to all of your roles.
Good.
Might be more
Good.
of a curse than a blessing. Thank you so much for joining us.
No problem at all. Thank you. See ya.
Thanks. Bye.